Yesterday, I was watching myself play some rec games, and I noticed I was making a lot of mistakes on my serves. I was hitting them too deep. I was hitting them into the net. I wasn't putting a lot of power behind the ball, and my form is kind of weird. I have this like stiff arm, and I want it to look more like the pros. So today, I've got a bucket of balls, and I'm gonna drill it out and see if I can fix that. This is how I was serving yesterday. I'll keep my arm kind of bent like this. Starting with placement, I'm gonna line my left foot up and point it out towards the side net post. And as I serve, I'm gonna put all my weight onto that back foot and transition that power to my leading foot. Most of my power is coming from my arm. I wanna switch that. I want power coming from my legs too. The other thing is, I wanna straighten my arm out because I have that bend in it that's preventing me from getting an extra snap on the ball. So my goal is to straighten my arm back on that serve. Straighten it out, have it straight on contact, and then bend as I follow over my shoulder. I'm gonna start with about 60% power until I feel more confident, and then I'll add more power to it. That's part of this. We're figuring out how we can make this work. Again, I think I'm hitting it too hard. I'm gonna try to dial down that power. Even though I'm trying to snap, let's go down to 50%. At least it was in. Okay, really got to straighten that arm out. Yeah, that's got pace. It's got top spin. That's looking a lot better. Okay, I was watching back to that footage and I noticed I'm still keeping a little bit of bend in my arm. I need to stay loose. I mean, maybe it's okay to have a little bit of bend. It doesn't need to be straight out or up here. But if I have bend in my arm, it's going to be harder to stay loose as I whip through that ball and brush up on it. So we're coming back to the drawing board. My goal is just to keep my arm loose the whole time. I don't even care how I hit it. I just want to keep my arm loose on these. Again, not going for anything other than a really loose arm. Now I'm going to combine that loose arm with that explosion and twist at the waist. Starting facing this net post. Okay. Too much power, bringing the power back. 50%. Less power still. I feel like if you're trying to hit it with too much power but you don't have good height and a lot of top spin, it's just gonna go straight down. So again, I gotta remind myself constantly, less power. At least less power in the arms, more power in the legs. Important to let yourself miss and realize you're trying something new. It's not going to work all the time. We make mistakes. If you ever watch pros play, those guys still make plenty of mistakes. I've seen pros serve the ball deep or serve it into the net. So don't get frustrated at yourself. It's just going to make things worse. Just move on to the next point if you make a mistake. Loose arm, aiming deep. Make sure you grunt at the end for some intimidation. Hey! Yeah, I feel good about that. That grunt's good. That grunt's gonna win me some points. Another thing I noticed is I'm kind of leaning over on a lot of these, which I think is stopping me from rotating from my shoulders as much. So I'm gonna have that goal to bring these shoulders back, rest them back, lift my chest up, kind of lean back on these. I think by leaning forward, a lot of my balls are going low, just barely over the net. We're gonna try to lean back on it. So we're adding things one at a time, right? We've got the loose arm about 50% power. Now we've got pointing our foot out to the net post and exploding through our hips, really pushing and making that an effort. And now I'm gonna have chest up, shoulders back and relaxed. Yeah, before I was leaning down like this with that arch in my spine. I'm always hunching. I'm a huncher. But today, we're gonna be hitting with our chest high. Sit back. Okay. And when you're adding a lot of different elements at a time, I think it can be tricky because I'm thinking, okay, I got to keep my chest back, and then I forget to keep my arm loose. So if you find yourself forgetting one thing, maybe just focus on one at a time again. Loose arm, loose arm, loose arm. That's all right. Loose arm. It's a better serve. That's money. See, that's a fastball, a lot of topspin. I hit it like 40% power. So just remind yourself, on the serve, you don't need to go full Federico Staxrud. Okay, maybe you should actually. That was kind of sick. But if you're not being consistent, you're not going to be winning more points. So let's work on consistency and then add to the power from there. But for me, I'm going to stay at 50% power. You got to figure out what works for you. So just to recap, we're making sure that we're keeping our arm loose as a goose. Oh gosh. We're opening up with our hips and exploding through that ball, building power from our waist instead of just our elbow. We're keeping our chest up high, leaning back a little bit, and we're only hitting with 50 to 60%. And of course, as you're feeling consistent, add more power. Well, thanks for sticking with me until the end. I hope that this is gonna help you be more consistent and confident in your serves. I know it's helping me a lot with mine. Let me know what you guys are struggling with down in the comments, and I'll help you out.